The news must flow. Welcome everybody to another episode of Fantasy News. I am your disheveled goblin host, Daniel Greene, and today we continue the fight for truth here on Fantasy News to bring you the raw, honest-to-God goblin perspective. And there's no way we'll let that elven deep state keep brainwashing you into believing their propaganda that somehow the evil overlord Morgoth was anything but the caretaker of the people he indeed was. Let's go ahead and get into what's happening in these fantasy realms. I don't know what that was either, but it's gonna be the energy for the day, so let's keep going. Oh, and what's this? It's the first story of the day. And that's going to be that Subterranean Presses is bringing us a 500-page gathering of 3 standalone novels set in the New York Times best-selling steampunk Parasolverse. I don't know too much about this, if you can't tell by the way I just talked about it, but hey, I'm not here to discriminate on my own personal preferences outside of the times that I definitely do that, and instead I just want to bring you anything I think could titillate your little tiny titties. Yeah, again, this is gonna be the energy for today. You gotta get ready for that. And that's what I've done now. Plus, I'm just a big old fan of Subterranean Presses, and I know a lot of the times people are like, wait, it's already sold out! So I wanted to give you these things as quickly as I can. But we're gonna go ahead and transition into a little taste of quickie news, and that's going to be that all 100 One Piece manga volumes have each sold over
1 million copies.
And that is... holy God, that is just such an insane amount of One Piece sales. I get how this franchise is chunking its way through overtaking the sales of some of the most iconic series of all times. Is One Piece gonna go down in history as one of the greats of the genre medium of manga or anime? Or is this gonna be something that has crazy success, flops the ending, and then disappears into shameful obscurity? I just probably put a little bit of anxiety into a lot of One Piece fans, because you're like, oh no, is that an option? Yeah, it is. So think about that tonight while you're trying to sleep, and then you know what it's like when I try and sleep. But speaking of things that get my little goblin blood flowing, well-known anti-goblin propaganda series, the Lord of the Rings and the whole Middle-earth actual series is getting a 4K box set release. And let me just give you a bit of advice. If you, by chance, have a partner who happens to be a fan of this series, let me do an impersonation of them receiving this as a gift from you. What boomers consider funny is recorded in front of a live studio audience. Hello, honey. I got you this box set of these movies that mean a lot to you. Thank you. This means so much. I'm now going to do that thing in the bedroom that you've wanted, that I was a bit hesitant on, but still curious about. So now that will happen with the both of us, because this is the best gift that has ever been given. I love you. I love you too. Before we get to the next story though, a quick word from today's sponsor, an indie publisher coming out with something rather special.
Hey, Wizard Apprentice, come here. Have you heard about the dark texts? You know, most of these wizards here, they only want you to know the mainstream, traditionally published text, but the real wizarding world, it's cutting edge right now. I want you to know we got stuff going on in the underground you ain't never seen before. Look at this right now. Shadows of Ivory. Ooh, it's beautiful. Ooh, look how consistent these are. Savage Dominion. That's a wonderful fantasy book. I mean, sacred text right there, coming from an outside, non-traditional wizard publisher. Check this out. Iron Prince Warforged. That's a beautiful, evil, sacred text. And you can join this cooler side of the wizard and fantasy reader world if you just gotta, you know, check out this little Kickstarter we got going on. Come here, come a little closer. Look at this. Once again, consistent publishing throughout all books. They look great together on a shelf, and all you gotta do, go to that link in the description, support their Kickstarter for a special edition of this bad boy. What's that mean? Dude, you don't... They're gonna come out with an edition. It's got that evil sacred black leather all the way around. Yeah, it's gonna have a black bookmark too. Keep your evil place in the evil page of the book you're reading. It's a special edition of an international bestseller coming from a publishing house that, you know, isn't in the normal game. You're helping shake up the industry. You just gotta come away from what's expected. It's got those gilded page edges and that gold stamping so you know you're reading something sacred and premium. What's this book got on the inside, you're asking me? Well, one of the international best-selling stories, but it's also got these full, gorgeous, beautiful illustrations, okay? Custom chapter heads. It's one of those reading experiences you're gonna be telling your kids about, or not, you know? Hey, and if this special edition from the, you know, Wraithmark Creative, that underground publisher for Wizards I was telling you about, hit some of their stretch goals, you don't even know what you got to unlock. We got color maps, metal bookmarks, and some other secrets. You want to know the rest? Just check out that Kickstarter and decide if you want this collector's edition, man.
Continuing on with Lord of the Rings news, you know I have to talk about this game trailer that got released, because if you haven't been following me on Twitch, which if you haven't, the f is wrong? Sorry. All right, getting into this, I'm a big fan of real-time strategy games. I've been playing Battle for Middle-earth on Twitch, and now, coincidentally, it seems we are getting another real-time strategy game from the franchise. Gameplay trailer, Lord of the Rings Rise to War, geostrategic seasonal war game. So it begins. Now, I have many hesitations while being simultaneously excited. There's a part of me that's just like, and there's another part of me that's like, it's probably gonna be a lot of pay to win. It's probably gonna be a lot of, like, you know, exploitative features here. I'm not exactly thrilled. There's one comment where someone says they got to play the alpha beta and they were like, oh, it actually doesn't have that many, like, pay to win. I don't know if I believe it though. It's just some YouTube comment. I'm gonna wait to see the early reviews. I'm not going to pre-order because I'm a good person, and if you do pre-order games, you're a bad one.
This is a mobile strategy game, so I don't know if you can pre-order it, but you're still a bad person.
But I don't think people understand just how much I would love a new Battle for Middle-earth style adaptation for Lord of the Rings. I don't even care if it just does the Hobbit trilogy. I just like real-time strategy, make armies go smash, 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 smash. It's fun, and I enjoy it. Follow me on Twitch if you'd like to see me do it with the evil campaign, because we just completed the good one, and now we're going to try and do the baddies. I hear you, though. Daniel, this is enough Lord of the Rings. Go to another franchise. Well, fine, you impatient little fools of a took. We have Ghost in the Shell, one of the most critically acclaimed movies to ever come from the anime medium, being released in Imax simultaneously in Japan and the United States. And if you have not seen this in 4K IMAX, you probably haven't, because this is saying it's the first time it's ever happened. So if you just actually said, "Oh, I have," you're a liar. But I have seen it in 4K because you can rent it for 4K right now, and it's worth it. I will say though, the English dub is not awesome, so definitely watch it in the original Japanese with subtitles. And I can't find anywhere in this article if it's going to be dubbed or subbed, and that's very important. And before I drop a bunch of money to see this, I need to see this. We had a mild technical difficulty there with the audio, but what's going to happen is I'm going to continue on like nothing occurred, and we'll just pick up and get going. And what I'm going to say is I need to know whether or not it's English subs or dubs, yes, dubs, or the Japanese with subs, because I don't particularly like the English dub for Ghost in the Shell, because it sounds like Siri is talking to someone a lot, and that's just not very engaging or enthralling. And if they don't tell me soon, I'm gonna murder their children, is how I ended that before the technical error came in. It made more sense when I properly built to the, it was just a blanket threat towards children. But moving on from there, if you're a DC fan, it's officially finally been factually proven that you are a fool and have terrible taste in superheroes. Yes, that's for sure true, because Spider-Man defeats Superman, not in a fight, to become the most expensive comic book ever sold. Yes, we now have officially valuing a mint condition #1 Spider-Man being more valuable than a mint condition #1 Super Duper Man. And yeah, DC fans feeling foolish. I imagine a bunch of you are blushing and regretting having ever been someone who puts their opinions forth online. This is proof. Marvel factually better now, because, you know, they're owned by the mouse, who still has not paid a bunch of their authors.
Hi, kids. Don't worry about that mean old man. He's having his legs broken. Don't ever bring up something that's not Mickey approved. That's the lesson of the day. Bye.
And going into games again, a new Attack on Titan mobile game has been announced, and I would definitely dig a full-on Attack on Titan game for sure. But mobile games with franchises attached just have such an exploitative, pay-to-win, bad rep to them. Even that Lord of the Rings thing, I'm not feeling, so this one, even more so. I'm like, I got a big old bit of excitement overshadowed by a lot of anxiety. You guys know I enjoy Attack on Titan, but not this. Nope. Nope. I had a gut feeling this is going to be bad. And speaking of gut feelings that this is going to be bad, Harry Potter Magic Awakened first year plot trailer. So we got a Harry Potter game coming out, and this is nothing to do with the recent scandals around the author, but the Harry Potter franchise as a whole has proven itself to not care about putting out quality and just putting out, give me money, please. And so this game, despite the trailer having a fun art style and looking pretty interesting, I just don't believe will be something worthwhile for fans. I mean, I actually made a point recently in a video where I was like, Harry Potter has made a serious reputation of itself just putting out okay to bad quality stuff to continue to make the money train come into the platform 9 3/4 so they can just shovel it on off. And a lot of people agreed with me. I actually had a lot of even like hardcore Harry Potter fans being like, yep, it's felt that way as a fan for a while. So I'm sorry. Maybe this will turn the tide and make it once again feel like you're lost in a magical, whimsical world. But I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna stop being a negative Nancy and instead talk about the fact that yes, Metroid Dread overview trailer has been put out, and this is exactly the kind of Metroid game I wanted if they're gonna do this approach, because it just looks like a smoothed out, higher quality version of the classic games we all know and love. No just like unnecessarily foundational changes, just a great looking Metroid game. It captures the nostalgia, improves where it needs to, but keeps the core premise, and I dig that. I know it's become a bit of a meme and like overly popular to just crap on the new Pokemon game, Sword and Shield. I didn't particularly like them, and I think one of their biggest flaws is they tried to like overcomplicate and bring in to the new age of gaming what should at its core be something that's very simple mechanics. I think Pokemon is not about the gameplay necessarily. I mean, you're hitting A and B a lot. And instead, it's about, the collecting atmosphere, the leveling up, things like that. And so trying to make it so you're in this bike move, it just didn't work as well. And it didn't actually make me feel like I was playing that game from my childhood. Whereas now, this Metroid game, I think, will have a better chance of doing so. I'm coming from the perspective of a young millennial looking to feel that way. So I understand if you never had those connections to like Pokemon Blue, Sword and Shield might have been great for you. Or even if you did, you could have just liked it for other reasons. I'm not trying to invalidate your opinions here. I'm just saying from my own subjective perspective, this is what I wanted to see. There's a lot I'm talking about this game. Next news. And there's one final piece of Pokemon news we need to cover here today, and that is that Netflix is developing a live-action Pokemon film to tie into the upcoming series. Nothing negative to say, actually. I quite enjoyed Detective Pikachu. It was a fun little romp, and yeah, Netflix, I think they're actually a good fit for this franchise as a whole. I'm only surprised that Pokemon's not trying to do like its own streaming platform with how much money they're worth. I figured that would have just been the natural step, but seeing them work with Netflix means I don't have to sign up for another thing, and that's wonderful. And yeah, I think this is actually a pretty good fit. So yay. I'm not always negative. Get out of here with your assumptions that the goblin's always negative. I'm a happy little gob. And of course, I gotta talk about the final piece of news that's gonna be squished on out to be swallowed by you all. And yeah, KOTOR, the probably most popular Star Wars game of all time, is being remade. And ironically, while it was originally an Xbox exclusive, now it will be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Haha! I switched consoles. Not the right generation. That's right, I've been an Xbox boy up until now. Now I've been converted. And this proves I, again, factually made the right choice. That's right, DC Xbox fans. You've been pwned. You got fucking owned, losers. If you are a DC Xbox fan, you feel like such a fool. Victory for the Marvel PlayStation fans. Is this chaotic enough? I had someone comment that like the fantasy news haven't been chaotic enough recently, and so I got self-conscious about it. So I figured I'd raise the chaos bar. But now I don't know. Like, is this too chaotic? Maybe it's distracting from the core of the video, which is the fantasy news. I really don't know anymore, and it's part of the insecurities of being a content creator. Every video, you're like, am I giving my audience what they actually like about me, why they subscribed, or am I kind of just becoming a caricature of what actually was what people were connecting to originally, and the forced nature of what I bring into the video is now going to push those away? You know, you don't really know, and so that's what I'm gonna be thinking about while I'm editing this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it wasn't too over the top, and you understand that I'm always just trying to entertain. There's a lot of jokes here. There's a lot of heart, and I love y'all. Like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the Patreon if you want to support what I do here. Check out the Goblin merch if you want to support me by wearing some merch. That's always a good time. And join the Discord server and post fantasy news in the Fantasy News channel if you'd like to see some things covered here. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.
And I'd like to record a special shout out to my latest high tier Patreon, Dr. Nova!